may have heard the news that Bill O'Reilly is out. He's out hosting the O'Reilly Factor. I believe yesterday it was just called The Factor. So what happens next? Before we get into what happens next, let me read the statement from 21st Century Fox regarding Bill O'Reilly. They say here, quote, after a thorough and careful review of the allegations, the company and Bill O'Reilly have agreed that Bill O'Reilly will not be returning to the Fox News channel. Bill O'Reilly has since been on vacation. And of course, we've known for years that there's been these sexual harassment allegations, but as of recent, the New York Times, they published an expose that revealed that O'Reilly, according to Mashable.com, quote, and 21st Century Fox paid a total of $13 million to resolve multiple sexual harassment claims. New allegations surfaced and more than 50 advertisers bailed on his primetime show. Now, since then, Bill O'Reilly has, through his lawyer, he has denied the allegations. In fact, I have a statement that was released from his lawyer on Tuesday saying, quote, that his client has been subjected to a brutal campaign of character assassination and that they promise irrefutable evidence that O'Reilly was being targeted by far-left organizations bent on destroying him for political and financial reasons. Now, the outcry, the public outrage, it has been polarized. And you have one side that is defending Bill O'Reilly. You have another side that is elated that he's no longer going to be hosting the O'Reilly Factor, and he has been called out for these sexual harassment allegations. But then you also have people that are still thrilled that Bill O'Reilly is gone. But let me just read you what Karen Rowland says. She's the chief campaigns officer at the advocacy organization Ultraviolet. She says, quote, let's be real. Fox is not rejecting sexual harassment. They're covering their butts. If they were rejecting sexual harassment, they would have fired Bill O'Reilly years ago. They're doing this because advertisers are fleeing. This is definitely a business decision. Thoughts, 5 words or less.
Money talks louder than Bill.
Advertisers no spend zone.
He's in some hot chocolate.
Bill never factored this outcome. He thought he could get.
Oh, I like it. Wait a second. Samantha.
That's like the first time I got some claps. I'm really into this, and I'm liking you as a guest because I'm liking
that
you a
was
lot.
really good.
Thank you. Okay, so I mean, I'm sure he thought he'd get away with it, just like Roger Ailes thought he could get away with it. This is kind of like the precedent that was set there and trickles down.
And they went so long without addressing it that I think that they thought to a degree that if you don't talk about something, eventually it will go away. But like I sort of alluded to in my 5 words or less, advertisers were being pressured to pull out of advertising on a show. So I agree with what a lot of people are saying. This has less to do with Fox taking a stand against sexual assault and more for them wanting to get their ad dollars back.
Right.
I mean, Fox News essentially seems like a boys' gym locker room and not like a good place for women to work in. And also working in TV in general is tough for women overall.
How?
Let me explain. I'm a woke male, so I understand women's issues more than you do. But you know, like it's already a tough environment, and they're the worst at it. And so obviously, this is about the money. Like it can't be about anything else because nothing is. He brags about his exploits in his books. He's been a dirtbag forever. He's not a good person. I don't like him, and I'm glad that I won't hear him when I go visit my aunt and uncle on the TV, just blaring out anger.
Same.
Yeah, it's also like behind this, when this kind of thing happens, everyone, the advertisers, the networks, everybody looks around and goes like, is this for real? Do I need to take any action or will it blow over? And so the big factor in it, of course, is like the advertising dollars. It happens with Paula Deen when the advertisers drop out, like, and then add to that whether people around the office like you. Like with Billy Bush, I think if Billy Bush was better liked on the set, then he would still have a job. But since they're like, oh, here's an excuse, let's get rid of Billy Bush, and he's gone. I think those are like the 2 factors, but the money also.
Money talks, and you mentioned, I like that you mentioned the pressure, because there were, I didn't know if you guys saw all the different petitions that were out there. There's one that I was reading just this morning because they sent like the update, like congratulations to all the people that signed this petition. It was for some of us, or some of us, I believe that's the petition, 750,000 signatures. And then what they did is they specifically sent those to specific advertisers. So you had all these, and that was just one of the petitions. So you're getting the public to get behind it and to pressure the advertisers, which is awesome because we do have a voice.
Yeah, what I've kind of been going over in my head is, you know how they call YouTubers and Instagram people like influencers, like social media influencers. Bill O'Reilly is an influencer for another generation. Like he is a major player, and his opinion has an impact on an older generation's point of view, how they see the world, how they see certain issues. So I think there is, just because this scandal has come out and he's not on Fox, I think that we'll see him swooped up by maybe another network, or maybe he'll create his own platform like a Glenn Beck. I don't think this is the end of Bill O'Reilly.
It's so weird because like Bill O'Reilly in the industry, like the rival networks are generally happy to scoop up some folks. So like Megyn Kelly got scooped up,
but she didn't face gnarly allegations.
I just mean when they leave a network, then Greta Van Susteren got scooped up by MSNBC. But the thing is, like now they have to weigh, like CNN, who is fine picking up slimy people and hiring them to work for them, like Corey Lewandowski. They have to like weigh that, like I want him because they lost him, but he's a terrible, terrible person. I think he'll end up taking some time off because he's going to make tens of millions of dollars.
He's getting paid. We shouldn't. You're right. He is getting a severance of lots of millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, and
which just like Roger Ailes did, which is so infuriating to me. Like you fucked up and then you're getting paid to leave. That bothers me.
Yeah, I like he's being taken over by his slot's getting taken over by Tucker Carlson, who's like just a different version of that.
Yes.
But also like a baby teen version of it. Like he's like a soft doughboy version of him that can get, like Bill O'Reilly, plus or minus, he is really good at just brutalizing people in interviews. And I just feel like Tucker Carlson's like there's the pit bull with the bowler cap in a cartoon, and like Tucker Carlson's like the little chihuahua.
There's like Scooby-Doo and Scrappy.
Yeah, he's like Tucker's like, I'm gonna. He also just looks like a ventriloquist dummy, like a hyper-realistic. Just sitting on someone's lap.
What is good is there's been a number of different reports that have come out just encouraging corporations to really look into their HR, to really make sure that they do have the right procedures, and to make sure that they are that the right training and protocols in place to prevent sexual harassment. So at the end of the day, make sure that if you're within a corporation, or if you own your own business, that you can really start from the top and instill that within your employees, because it does start from the top. There does need to be a precedent, and we see with Fox that right from the beginning with Roger Ailes and their highest paid host that they thought that they could get away with this.
Yeah, there's a culture of abuse and cover up for sure.
100%. And one of the accusers, Wendy Walsh, is a friend of the show. She's a good friend of mine.
She's been on this show.
She's been on this show, and she's incredible. She was one of the last ones to put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
And she's not collecting money. She has worked for Fox, and she just wanted to share her story to help corroborate the other women's stories. And because she has a daughter, and she said, I have a daughter, and her and Lisa Bloom, who's an attorney, said we need to get this out there. There needs to be another story so the other women can feel vindicated and validated.
And that's something that I think we don't talk enough about, like people on the left don't talk about, where it's like, we don't talk about the fact that my girlfriend has a job, she actually works on TV, and if she's in an environment where she can no longer keep her job, like we're homeless, because both of us have to have a job to make ends meet. Like that is the thing, like these environments affect all of us, and we have to start looking at this like, look, you have a wife, if you're a dude and you're like, I don't really care about sexual harassment, well, like what happens when your wife has to quit her job so that then you have to support the family all on your own? Like this is not just about women, this is about households surviving.
You're right.
That's super important. We need to start framing things in an economic mindset that the Midwest people, because people will overlook terrible things. To my family, my brothers worked in an animal processing plant to make money. Like people will work in terrible environments, but if they can't work, that's another issue. And so if we show them that like this sort of behavior puts people out of work, then people will start fighting back against it.
Yeah, and it's sad too, because so many people were quick to blame Wendy Walsh, like what are you doing? You're just trying to get money. And she reiterated on Don Lemon that she wasn't, but this is someone who she was, Brett knows this, when you start to work, and I know this too, when you start to work at a network and you're not a paid contributor yet, you're going in there and you're spending all day long maybe preparing for that segment. You go on the segment, and so Wendy Walsh was on CNN with me, she was on HLN with me, but she was also on Fox News, and she was not yet a paid contributor on Fox News. Her story was that that she had been on there a number of times, hoping to get that paid contributor promotion, and that she went to dinner with Bill O'Reilly at the Bel Air Hotel, and basically he said that she would be a paid contributor, but let's go to my room. And then when she denied when she denied that advancement. When she denied that advancement, that he all of a sudden she was no longer welcome on that network. So all of a sudden the booking stopped. She never got that lucrative deal that she thought that she was supposed to get. So it's that dangling of the carrot that pisses me off so much, that the 1 in 3 women experience sexual harassment.
Bill O'Reilly's carrot. It's disgusting.
His orange carrot.
Yeah.
That would be Donald Trump. That would be Donald Trump.
And that's interesting because it goes back to the Mike Pence thing where he's like, I don't go to dinner with women alone. Like that's because to me, I'm like, I can go to dinner alone with a woman, but to him and Bill O'Reilly, it's like, oh, well, if I go to dinner with women alone, I'm like a Bill O'Reilly guy. Like, no, you can go and eat dinner with women. I have writing partners who are women. I have performers that I work with that are women. It's like, it's only because you hang out with trash people.
Yep.
Your friends are garbage. Stop hanging out with them.
Yeah. And it's projection too.
Yeah, it is
so
also
crazy.
projection.
Well, luckily he's being taken, Tucker Carlson stepping in, and he's the one who said that sexual harassment was invented by Democrats.
Oh my God. There you go.
Problem
Way to go,
solved.
Fox. Okay, please keep the conversation going, and we will see you next time on Pop Trigger.